What about now? Can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me now. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Hopefully, yes. And if not, I just went half an hour with no sound. That's just crazy. Thanks, Strong. Yeah, man. I think I just went half an hour without sound. It's just a mess sometimes. This is what happens when you go on vacation for 3 weeks and then you return. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. And thanks for joining the live stream. So what I was going through, oh shit, I have to go through again with the other one. Okay, so what I was doing basically is just talking about this amplifier. So let me go back a little bit. Let me start over. I recently bought a guitar, a second-hand guitar, which is basically this little guy here. And this is a very cheap guitar. This costed me like 40 euros, but it's more than enough for me to start playing and start learning guitar. So you don't have to invest a lot of money. Like everything in music production, you don't need to have a lot of money to make good music or to learn music production. And this was pretty much my idea with the music. Basically, was to make sure that I was the idea was to, let me see here. Okay, yeah. The idea was to buy something that I could practice on. So with that in mind, I want to check out some of the guitar amplifiers that I have here. So we have 2 sections or 3 sections here. We have the amplifier section, we have the cabinet, and then we have the master here. So usually guitar amplifiers or bass amplifiers, they have a section of the amplifier, and then they have a cabinet. The cabinet is where we have the speaker, where you put the microphone and record the amplifier. And here, as you can see, we have 3 knobs for EQing, the bass, mids, and trebles, and treble. And then we have a drive and presence knob, and this helps just to create, to change the sound of the amplifier. Next up, I have this the cabinet here, and this we can have 2 different cabinets or 2 different types of cabinets that we can mix, and this is really cool section. And then of course we have the master. So let's go here to the amplifier, and this is the clean thing. So I will be playing some chords. I don't know too many chords, but the ones that I know, I will be playing them. So this is the clean one. Let's add a little bit of drive. We can already tell a little bit of distortion right there in the audio. Let's take the drive and let's just have it clean. Let's change the presence. Okay, I think the presence just gives it a little bit more high tones. Maybe it adds some harmonics to the amplifier. So let's now move to a different one. So we can have basses. I don't have a bass right now, so I will stay away from the basses. Let's go to this warm preset here. So this one a little bit warmer. Really cool amp head. Let's go with a little bit more extreme things. Let's go with drive. These ones here are really cool. I like them, and as you can see, it changes the color and makes it a little bit more interesting. So let's listen to this one. Let's add a little bit of drive. Okay, so now we have a little bit more gain. Let's bring the gain down. So some really cool, edgy type of amplifier. So let's see what else we have here in the drive. We have, let's use this Scream one. We can already tell that this is going to sound very, very loud. So let's bring the noise down a little bit, or the master down a little bit. And as you can tell, this is already very, very distorted one. Let's decrease the drive. Sounds cool. I like that. Let's now play around with some high gain. This one, crunch here. As you can see now, it's red. Let's see how the red sounds. A little bit more distorted. Sounds really cool. And as you can see, I can add less drive or more drive. Let's add a little bit of presence. Sounds really cool. Let's maybe take some of the mids. Now let's add more mids actually. Let's take a little bit of the bass. I like that. So now let's play around with the cabinets here. So as you can see, you can have multiple types of heads, amp heads or amplifier types. I'm not going through all of them. As you can see, there's a bunch of them. But then we can change here the cabinets. And as you can see, we have volume, we have panning, we have phase delay for the two sections of the cabinet. So we can have two cabinets. And as you can see, we have two different types of cabinets. We can have two different types of cabinets. And also we can have two different types of microphones, which is really, really cool. And you will see why. So let's, right now we have this sound. A little bit distorted. Let's go for, let's change the cabinet. And as you can see, one is bent full left and one is bent full right. So let's change the cabinet. Let's go with this one, Inferno. That sounds already aggressive. So we can tell that one now sounds different than the other, and this can create some really cool effects. Let me see what is higher. I think this one should go down a little bit. Maybe not. Okay, another thing that we can do, let's change the different types. And you can tell that the sound sounds completely different now. And with this combination, we can get some really cool sounds, or get some really different sounds from the amplifier itself. So if we wanted to have this type of configuration, we would have to have multiple cabinets, multiple amplifiers, multiple microphones. As you can see here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So instead of having that, we have that model here in a plugin, which is really, really cool and saves us a lot of money and time. So let's keep this one here. Let me bring the volume of the right one a little bit more. Okay, I like that. So now let's add, let's change the microphone, for instance, for this one. Okay, I like that. As you can see, we can have multiple combinations. Really cool. And of course, we can go for the knobs here. Of course, we can also change the phase. So let's change the phase of this to see how it sounds. can also add some delay. Let's add delay on this one to create an even more stereo effect, which is really, really nice. And of course, I'm not a good player yet, but that will come with time. So let's see now a couple of these. You can see we have a bunch of presets, which is really, really cool. Let's go with some sweet amps. Let's do this one. This one sounds nice. So really cool. Let's see another one here just for the sake of it. Let's go for a crunch one or Inferno amp. Let's see this one. Age of Rage. It already sounds menacing. Let's see. I have a sound that I created, or a melody, I think. Cool. Let's see. Really, really nice. Okay, that's pretty much it for this one here. Let me disable this, otherwise you will hear a bunch of noise. So I think that's it for this one. There's also another plugin that I really like, and it's going to stay. I'm going to stay with the guitar here, and that's the tool rack. And the tool rack works very similar with with the guitar amp stereo that I just showed you, but allows us to add some other pedals. So, excuse me. Let's go to FL Studio so that I can show you that one. So this was the one that we were playing around with, but there's another type one here. So not type 1, but another one here, which is the tool rack. And this one, it's a little bit different. So as you can see, the interface is also different. So let's enable this. And if we double click on the amp section, we can have two different amps. And this is pretty much the same as we did before. We have the amp section where we can select our amp types or amplifier types. And then we have a cabinet here with, I think this cabinet is fixed, even though we have a bunch of presets here that we can change and stuff like that. So this is really cool. We can have two different types. We can pen them, we can move them. As you can see, this is pen right, and this is pen left. But if we go here to the stomp, we can have a bunch of other pedals. And as you can see, there's a buzz, chorus, compressor, delay, a bunch of pedals here. I'm not going through all the pedals, and we have also wah-wah. What I'm going to do is go through some of the presets here that I like, or some of presets that I've been checking that I really enjoy. So let's go Natural Beauty. Let's see what this one is. And as you can see, you can load the pedal into all these sections, I guess, or these holes here. And you can also move the amp to get different types. And this is very similar to one plugin that we have here, which is I think is Hardcore. Yeah, this one here. So as you can see, you can put multiple things here. Of course, these waves here, I think it's a little bit more advanced, but it works pretty much the same way. And here we can have different models for the cabinets. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And here you can change the things. You can enable everything, and pretty much works the same here. As you can see, I can enable and disable stuff. So let's listen to this preset here to see how it sounds. So this sounds very clean. Let's go to a different one. This one already sounds different. This one has a little bit more presence. It's louder also. Okay, so maybe we could reduce here. Really cool. Let's go. Oh, this one sounds already aggressive and very loud. Let's bring the volume down. And me just putting my fingers over the chords, very gentle, you can hear the effect. And one thing that I will probably use this, since I don't know how to play guitar yet very well, is just going with taking some sounds to mix into my productions. Some really cool presets. I really like this one. This one has this one here, the Vibrolo, which adds some LFO or some tremolo to the sound, and is really, really cool. Really nice. Let's go to the next one. A little bit more aggressive. There was one that had a delay that I really, really liked. Oh, this one sounds cool. As you can see, we can have very different, and this is a very cheap guitar, but it's sounding really, really cool with this plugin. This is very aggressive. Let's bring this down. Very, very aggressive. Some presets are really, really loud. Oh, this one sounds like a lo-fi guitar. Really, really cool. So as you can see, some really nice presets. Oh, this one sounds very dreamy. Really, really nice. So I think I will. I could stay here the entire stream just playing around with the guitar. But it's really, really cool to have this. The guitar was really cheap, but I have a bunch of stuff here that I can play around with, that I can work with to make, even with my limited skill set in the guitar, I can really take my productions to even better state with having an acoustic instrument like a guitar, where I can play notes, I can play around with some of the things that I am producing. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next question that I have here. And I'm really sorry for the fact that in the beginning I left no what's the word? The audio was not coming in, so maybe half an hour of the live stream was just garbage. It is what it is. let's see. So one of the reasons why I really love FL Studio is the fact that FL Studio brings the free lifetime updates, and that's something that for me it's to be honest, I have no words to describe it because every time there is a new update to FL Studio, I automatically get it. And in other DAWs, you don't have that privilege, I would say. Like if you want to go from version 1.5 to 2.0, you have to pay a fee for that. And in FL Studio, you buy it once, you own it forever, and you get free lifetime updates. So whenever there's something coming from ImageLine, I will automatically get it. So ImageLine just shared a couple of a new update. Let me see what version we are in right now, to 20.9. Yeah, 20.9, which is really, really cool. And with it brought two new plugins. So let's take a look at those plugins here. And one of the plugins I really, really enjoy, which is the Vintage Chorus. And let me switch to FL Studio so that I can show you what this is all about. So the Vintage Chorus is an emulation, or I would say an emulation of the Juno, Roland Juno 6. So if you don't know what is that synth, is this beauty here. I have a screenshot of this plugin and or of this synth. And this is a very old school synth, and it goes for a lot of money nowadays. You know, and if we look at this section here, we have a chorus section that has off and two types, as you can see there, 1 and 2. And if we look at this section here, the mode, we can have 1, 2, or edit. So what ImageLine did was they took the emulation that they created based on the Juno 6 synth or chorus. And they just did that, but they went a step beyond with adding the edit mode here, where you can change the parameters here of the delay, modulation, and so on. So you can select mode 1, mode 2, and if you click on shift, as you can see, my shift button is enabled. If I click on 1, you have both modes on. So you have to first take a look, and let's find, let's actually do a chord progression here, just so that we have something to work with. I could simply take a loop, but I think I will work with this here. Okay, let's use the stamp mode. Let's go with minor. And let's put this in step, and let's go here, and let's go with a major 2. And let's bring another major here. Okay, so let's listen to this. Let's bring some of this down. Okay, I like that. So now let's bring this into the Juno. And I think the Vintage Chorus here, not the Juno, but the Vintage Chorus. So automatically you see how it affects the sound. Let's go with mode 1. Mode 2. Let's combine both. I think with mode 2 or with both modes on, it's like one is affecting the other one, something like that. So this is the two predefined modes. And now let's go here to the edit, where we can change here the configuration. So as you can see, we have the delays, and this pretty much is the time of the delay. You can see here in the hint panel, we have the 0.3 milliseconds. We can even go lower to 0.2 milliseconds up to 10 milliseconds. So we can change the time of the delays here. Okay, so we can change also the feedback. Okay, and then we have here a high pass filter just to filter some of the low end. Usually the chorusing effect can create some low end, and that can muddy your sound. So adding this can really help with allowing or cleaning up your effect or your choruses. Okay, so then we have the modulation here, the section. So we can change the starting phase of the LFOs, and we can change the type of the LFOs. We can also change the speed. So let's start increasing the speed. Okay, as you can see, we can also change the left and right phase. So if you want to have the left and right phase different from each other, we can do that, and this will create an even more stereo effect. So let's do that. As you can see, it allows to make it a little bit more stereo. Let's we can also sync to the tempo. And as you can see, this now becomes, as you can see in the hint panel, this now becomes like in terms of bars. We can have 64, 128, or very fast, like 4 steps. Okay, I really like this plugin. Then we have here the section, this level section, where we can make the input mono and make this effect a little bit more interesting. We can invert. This inverts the polarity of the wet signal. This can result in some interesting sounds. So we can. So this is the dry one. This is the full wet, and this is the combination of two. You can see. And there's another one here. So if I stop the audio, you will hear, if I bring this noise up, you will hear this white noise coming in. So what this is doing is like old school synths usually have some floor noise, and this is what is trying to emulate. So if we want this kind of a warmth analog vibe, adding this noise can really help with giving that vibe. So let's listen. Something like that, you know. So this is of course an extreme example. I'm just playing around with some levels here, but as you can see, when I stop, I still hear that noise, and if I make it louder, I still hear that noise, and that can be a little bit distracting, you know, if you have if you don't have audio but you still have the noise coming in. So what you can do is apply here the noise gate, which in my opinion should always be enabled by default, but again, this is okay. We can just click here, and what happens is that whenever you don't have FL Studio playing, this will basically just mute the noise. When you start playing the song again, or the project, the noise will go on. As you can see, we can see there the noise in the spectrum analyzer, and we can also hear it. So if I stop, we don't hear the noise, but if I take the noise gate, we can still hear the noise. So this is one of the plugins that I really enjoy from the the new update, and it's really really nice that FL Studio provides these updates for free. It's one of the the best things that I've seen in the DAW world is this type of free lifetime updates. I think it's something that no other company does, and FL Studio is unique with it. And because the customer base is increasing, they are putting way more effort into bringing new plugins, new sounds. We have a Flex, which is now so FL Studio lacked a lot in terms of high quality sounds. You would always have to have third-party libraries to get some really cool sounds to play here in FL Studio, especially for making hip hop out of from scratch without thinking about loops. But FL Studio was mainly in the beginning, or a few years back, was very good for electronic dance music because you would have a lot of synths, a lot of stuff that you could use in electronic dance music. But to make hip hop, it lacked a lot of high quality sound libraries. And with the addition of Flex, that really changed the game for FL Studio, I think, in my opinion. And that's one of the plugins that I most likely will use in all my projects, because it's just really really cool. And it has, for instance, you have pianos, you have basses, you have guitars, you have now drums, and all for free. And that's for free, of course, for FL Studio users. But once you buy once and you get it for the entire. Imagine what in 10 years you will have here in FL Studio. And let's say that I stop now making music for whatever reasons, and in 10 years I pick up again the making music. I can go back into my account, download FL Studio, and I will have the highest or the latest plugin versions, and that's just amazing, I think, in my opinion. Another plugin that we get with this 20.9 is the pitch, what's the name? Where is it? Pitch shifter. This is a really cool plugin. I'm not going to do a video on it right now because this requires a little bit more practice or a little bit more experimentation for me to get a better understanding of the plugin, so that I can give you some cool information and correct information about it. But this is something really really cool. So what next? Let's see, it's already 7 o'clock. I lost half of the live stream for not having audio in my OBS, which was a shame because I did the example on how to tune vocals in FL Studio, and I pretty much have to take that away from my videos. So yeah, unfortunately, that's something that will have to wait for the next installment of the producer show, the live stream, the producer show. That's what I wanted to say. So again, thanks all for watching. Thanks for the comments. Special thanks for Juan to let me know that there was no sound. That was a fail from my side, but hopefully I got half of the live stream back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you are new here. I will be bringing some new videos regarding guitars, bass guitars, and stuff like that. So that will be very very cool, and I hope it will be cool. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's 7 o'clock, so I will wrap this up. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. And again, if you have any questions about music production, just let me know. You can leave them here in the chat, or you can go to my videos and leave them in the comments. I will make sure that I will answer all of my comments, and I will make sure that I will answer the questions here. You can also subscribe to the newsletter I have a link in the description, and you can subscribe there, and I will be sending you forms where you can post your questions, and those questions will be answered with a higher priority here in the live stream. So I think that's pretty much it. My name is Tiago. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next weekend.